Hello, a Rosie math teacher coming at you from my 4th period accelerated 7th grade math class. Today we are doing a review sheet, and I want to give you guys some heads up how this review sheet works, especially for item number 1. So everybody looking at item number 1, it says write an equation in slope-intercept form for the line shown. Guys, I've written a hint for you. I've also given you the equation in slope-intercept form below. But I want to talk to you a little bit about how this particular item goes because it has a few little weird wrinkles in it. So follow with me now. Use rise over run to find the slope / value of m. What variable is the slope, class? M. Remember that I gave you on your review sheet at the top, it says y equals mx plus b. So do you agree we're going to use rise over run to put a number inside my black square? Yes. When we use rise over run, and here is what a lot of my students are forgetting, sadly, they are forgetting that to do rise over run, you want to ask yourself, where is there a convenient location? Guys, do you understand that my red plus sign is showing an intersection right here? An intersection. Do we understand the meaning of the word intersection? Okay. So on your graph, you want to choose 2 plotted points that you can place where there is a true line through an intersection. Excellent. Have they drawn a line for you? Can you easily plot at least 2 points that conveniently land on an intersection? Yeah. All right. Now, for the sake of this example, please use the same 2 points that I am using. So please plot the first point where your y-intercept occurs, because you're going to need that as well anyway. Might as well make that your plotted point. Have we done the plotted point for the y-intercept? Thank you. Then I want you to ask yourself, where is another conveniently located plotted point? Now guys, on this particular graph, aren't there a lot of intersections to choose from? I'm going to choose the closest one. Right there. Now this is so challenging. I don't know if we can handle it, but let's try anyway. Miss Rose's clue says use rise over run. So, using my disappearing ink, we're going to rise. How many spaces was that, class?
1.
Please write down a 1 as your rise value. And then we also need to run. How many spaces was that, class?
1.
Also 1. Guys, what does 1 over 1 actually equal?
1.
Just 1. So inside your black box, please write 1. Are we all good? Yes, we are. We're going to come back to that in a moment because something else has to happen, but we're not doing that yet. Next, you need to use the y-intercept to find b. Now, you may have forgotten my super cute and creative story about how to find the y-intercept. Do you recall, when you think about the days before the great Snowmageddon in Florida, when we learned that in order to find the y-intercept, you had to imagine there's a teeny tiny little football player and he or she is running along the y-axis repeatedly. Literally just running like a little crazy football player, back and forth, waiting with the hope of intercepting a pass from the other team. Where does the line on the graph show that his interception took place? At our lower plotted point, at 0, what, class?
2.
Oh, try again.
Negative.
-2. How can you tell it's -2? Because it is 2 spaces below point of origin, also known as 0, 0. So inside this box, where you are to write the value of b, also known as y-intercept, what amount goes in that box? Say it, class.
-2.
Excellent. Now listen as I help you understand how they want this entered into the answer space online. First of all, let's refresh our memory, again, before Snowmageddon, when we learned that in the world of math, will they ever write 1x or 1y or 1z?
No.
No, they just put an x or a y or a z. So when you go to enter your answers later, you are going to want to type a y from the keyboard. Tap on an equal sign. You will not copy the 1. Please don't copy the 1. We know it's 1, which means we know we don't need to copy it. Correct? Okay. But will you need to tap an X? Again, on your keyboard, a physical X. And then tap, now wait, here's where it gets tricky. Do we agree that plus -2 means exactly the same thing as -2?
Yes.
So scribble out that plus sign and do not copy it. So later, class, read to me exactly what you will type as your answer for item 1. Y equals X minus 2. Do we all understand how you will type exactly what you see in blue ink on my TV screen? Do I have any questions about how to enter the answer for number 1? Okay, I have a few people, bless y'all, you're falling asleep after lunch. Try the best you can to stay awake. If you're in the back row, you can stand up if that helps you. Okay, I know I'm super not expressive. I'm so difficult to follow, right guys? No, not right. All right, and this is for helping guys at home. I already know other classes struggled with what I just showed you on number 1 and what I'm about to explain on number 5. Are you guys following on number 5 for some extra help? What is the equation of the line shown? On number 5, I told you, remember to plot 2 ordered pairs, then use hints back on number 1. So first let's plot 2 ordered pairs. Well, how are we going to do that, you say? Well, let's look for 2 spots that conveniently land at what? An intersection. Can we find at least 2 plotted points that land at an intersection? Yes. Now, once again, if one of them happens to be the y-intercept, go ahead and pick it because you need that anyway. Plot the y-intercept point. What is the value of the y-intercept? Say it, class. Okay, you said the ordered pair. All I really need is the y-intercept. So it's just -1. Excellent job. Now find up the line, just because I prefer going up from there. Find another plotted point you can make, the closest one you can make as you travel upward. I'll give you a moment to make it. Then look up to see if yours matches mine. I'm picking the easiest one there is. Does yours match mine? Okay, great. Now, if it didn't, but it was still a plotted point, could we still do rise over run? Yes, we could. All right, so here's what it says. Remember to plot 2 ordered pairs at intersections. Thumbs up if we just did that. We just did that. Hopefully you did too. Then use the hints on number 1. So let's go back to number 1. Use rise over run to find the slope or the value of m. All right, so starting at our lower plotted point, I begin to go what for my rise? Up. How many spaces up? 2. Everybody write 2 as your rise number. Make yourself write it. I have so many kids that won't write it. I don't know why. Write 2 as your rise number. Now you're going to run. How many steps? 1. Oh, this is so difficult. I know. It's so hard. Now, what is your slope?
2.
Excellent, because 2 over 1 equals 2. So I know that since slope-intercept form is y equals mx plus b, and I already know my slope is 2, so where do you guys think I'm going to write the 2? Directly on top of what variable you see here?
M.
On top of m. Excellent. Do you understand how I got rise over run, got slope, put 2? Okay. Next step, I want to write the correct amount in place of the y-intercept. So look again at the plotted point we did where our little teeny tiny invisible football player is going up and down the y-axis saying, let me intercept the ball from the other team. Where was he located when he intercepted that ball on the y-axis? At -1. So what do you know I am about to write on top of my plus b? Okay, what am I going to put on top of that plus sign? A big minus sign, right? And then what will I put on top of the b? 1. So do you now see which of the options is the correct equation for what's happening on the grid? Now, heads up, on your online review, I think they mix these items up, so you might want to double check it's still the same equation. Don't just go by the letter you picked. So honestly, I would circle the equation itself that matches this. Do we feel like we understand how to be successful on number 5? Okay, there's one more item I want to talk about before I set you guys free to do this on your own. And it's number 7. Everybody look at number 7, last one on the front side of this review. Graph y equaling 1/3 x plus 2 using the slope and the y-intercept. I keep telling kids this hint, and somehow, I don't know why, people are not believing me and they're not writing it. So I'm going to show you what I want you to write. Please write it. I'm literally showing you. Use 3 in place of x. So for example, let's just do this in the space above the equation on number 7. So I'm going to use 3 in place of x. So I'll give you this much. Above the y, please write a box where later you're going to put a number amount. Please copy your equal sign. Please copy 1/3. And, okay, can you quickly give me this? I'm making the video for my kids to learn. Do you need to come in here? Oh, he needs to go. Okay, this child needs to go to guidance. Please go to guidance. Thank you, that is your pass. Thank you, sir. Okay, let's continue, guys, back to work. Use 3 in place of what, class? X. So, isn't x what was coming next? So what number will I write instead of the variable x?
3.
And I will put it inside of what?
Parentheses.
Great job. And then I will copy the rest. Read the rest.
Plus 2.
Plus 2. Now, because I want to make sure you understand everything else there is to understand about this, I'm just going to help you solve it right now. Okay? But make sure you're understanding that at home, you could type this into your online calculator, literally just like you see it. 1/3 times 3 plus 2. All right, but right now we're going to talk our way through it. Guys, what is 1/3 of 3? 1. What is 1 plus 2?
3.
So put a 3 in place of what?
1.
Y. The whole purpose here was to determine, and by the way, does anybody remember why I purposely said put 3 in place of x? Because we know if the coefficient here or the slope here is a denominator of 3, then I want to use that denominator as my first possible value of x. It just keeps everything simpler for you. Do you understand that? Okay. So for example, 1/3 times 3, that way we know it's going to give us a whole number. And what was it? 1/3 times 3 was 1, wasn't it? So it just makes it much easier for the computing. Once you put all of this in your calculator, what answer would the calculator have given you?
3.
3. And that's how you find the coordinating y value. Now, guys, inside of parentheses, plot the x comma y ordered pair that you just discovered from this equation. Write down the ordered pair right now that you just discovered from this equation. I'm getting some deer in the headlight looks. That's okay. We did have a huge 4 days of snow out of school, so these kids, they're trying to reach back in time to find what we learned before they left. Okay, I'm going to make it a little easier for you. Class, what number did I use in place of the x?
3.
So write that as the beginning of this ordered pair. Are you starting to see what happened here? Then, because you would have entered this in the calculator, or you used your handy-dandy brain a moment ago, and you informed me that indeed 1/3 times 3 plus 2 would equal a y value of 3. So what is the coordinating y value?
2.
Also 3. Because we all agreed that 1/3 times 3 plus 2 equals 3. Yes? Okay, I heard a different amount and I'm so confused why that would happen. All right, but we're all on the same page again now. So class, again, name the ordered pair. 3, comma 3. Plot that ordered pair now. I'm holding my breath because earlier children had forgotten how to plot an ordered pair. I will admit, guys, you learned this in 5th grade, so go back to 5th grade. Start at point of origin. Take 3 steps to the right, 3 steps up, bam! Plot your point. Guys, did you correctly plot that point at this location? Wave at me if you truly did. Okay, so that's one plotted point. Whenever you are told you need to graph something on a grid, you need 2 plotted points that are appropriately placed. Do you all understand how we got that plotted point? 3, comma 3. Okay, where do you think I'm going to put my other plotted point because it is conveniently given in the equation?
0, 2.
Excellent. 0, comma 2. Why would I put it at 0, comma 2? Because the plus 2, remember how I gave you this hint at the top of the whole review sheet? The plus b is the location of your y-intercept. And look at this part of your equation. Do you see plus 2 right where the b value would be? So plot positive 2 on the y-axis. Everybody plot a positive 2 on the y-axis. So do you think you're going across or do you think you're going up and down? And are you going up or are you going down? Excellent. You're going up and you're landing on the... Wave at me if yours looks just like mine. Now that you have these 2 plotted points, you are ready to draw yourself a line that connects those 2 and goes all the way to the left and all the way to the right. Guys, this should get you off to a really good start on your review page. I hope that helped.